Yeah, we are going. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. There we go. All working, lovely. I know it works when I do it, Knowlesley, because it knows that the best commentator is in the house. Obviously, joking. Uh, it works when I do it because it's clearly OBS and YouTube loves me dearly. I am just going to do a very quick sound check as soon as possible. Give me 1 second. Hopefully, you can all hear me. Good evening, everybody. We are live in the good old US of A, good old America in Texas. A modern classic. It feels like yesterday this track was added to the calendar. Yes, I do remember this track joining the calendar in 2012. So it's been around for a little while, but I still remember it as if it was new. Lewis Hamilton won the first race here, which is a Lewis Hamilton fan. I was very happy about that. Let me do a quick sound check. I heard my voice for about 3 seconds, so I will shut up. I also realise I need to start the party. I always forget every week to start the bloody Cumsbox party, otherwise the drivers get to hear me for free in the chat, and well, you know, God forbid we have that. We can't be having anything like that because they need to watch the stream to hear me talk. There we go. I need to set like an Alexa reminder to to make sure I join the party. Every week I forget to join the bloody party. Makes my life a little harder, of course. But good evening, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. We're in Texas, the good old US of A, round 13 of our 100% league. The boys and guys and gals are ready to take on this wonderfully beautiful circuit. They still don't have the Texan flag at the top of the turn one, which I find very disappointing, Codemasters. Where is your Texan patriotism? That big, massive flag here in Texas. We are back, of course, 100% league, realistic cars, and to my relief and to possibly some of the drivers' relief, no wildcards tonight. It is just pure 56 laps of the Texas Grand Prix. We will just be simply blasting it on 56 laps, no mandatory pit stops, no rain, no if you have no arms you get to start first, you know, none of these madness, just a nice easy race, which I think for some would definitely be a bit of a relief, because obviously we've had quite a few wild cards quite recently. Sorry, I just got a call from my father. Very concerning. Not really. Where was it? Yes. So relief to some of the drivers that there aren't any wildcards, that you don't have to fiff and faff about it. Relief potentially for Equars, who is our championship leader by just 7 points over Reflection. He retook the championship lead last week after Reflection had a gearbox issue in the dying laps of the Singapore Grand Prix. But they'll both be a little relaxed to see that Lucas Percy is not here for a second week running. So Lucas Percy looking less and less likely to be able to make it a 3-horse race. Someone who did make it potentially a 3-horse race if he'd been there earlier was Kieran SF1, and as you may, Eli viewers may have noticed, he's now in the V-Carb. It was deemed he was too quick in a Williams, so a V-Carb would have to do. So, yeah, it's he's still here, and he's just in a different car this time, because it's deemed the V-Carb is technically slower than the Williams, so he's been nerfed, kind of. But we are waiting. Lucas Percy has said he will be racing tonight, so I assume he will be joining mid-quali. I don't know if he says he's going to race, but he's not in the lobby as of yet, unless my glasses are failing me. But Marsky in the Ferrari, a bit of an up and down season Marsky has had. He's been there or thereabouts. He's been quick on his day, but he's lacked the race pace generally throughout, to be honest. So Marsky, you know, strong driver, very quick driver. He just struggled to get the pace up this season, but he's still scoring some pretty good points in that Ferrari. Good evening, Mushroom. Welcome to the stream. As we head now down the long back straight, primary overtaking opportunity here down the back straight. One of two DRS zones here. Well, you know this, but I'm going to say it anyway, because why not? You're here to listen to me, and I get to tell you what to say. So, yes, Marsky now on the run down to the hairpin, where we saw Max and Lando fighting hard last year. Into Sector 3, which is where you need the downforce, quite a Mickey Mouse Sector 3, into the double left-hander modelled after Bahrain's Turn 9-10 complex, and then through Bahrain's Turn 8 copycat around the long right-hander. Istanbul recently said to be in the running to return to the F1 calendar, which, yes please, sign me up for that. Bin off Miami, bring me back Istanbul Park. Marsky now coming into the final corner. Dark Shadow has gone fastest with a 35.4. Marsky, I think, is on course to beat that. He is with a 34.7. So straight into the 34s. We have a McLaren of Vintage finishing his outlap around the final corner. And then we have a green car, which could mean one of about 4 cars in the grid. It is Lewis O'Reilly in the Aston, another very quick driver who has not always had his way this season, but 34.0 is nicely done, and he just beats Jay Hings by 5 milliseconds. Hings, who had a strong timeout in Singapore. He's beaten by Kamara Racer, who is into the 33s, so already straight into the 33s. Reflection, championship protagonist. He lost out last week in the gearbox issue. His gears stopped functioning. What can he do this week? Up to the line, 33-1, so Reflection goes fastest. He is still in this fight for the championship with Equaz, just 7 points between them. And if Lucas Percy shows his face today, then that will make 3 championship protagonists in 1. Vintage is on a lap. R2 Beat is pushing on. Coming up to the line now is Mad Max. What can Mad Max do? P6 for him in the now Williams car. Vessier has invalidated. He is going again. Who's in the garage? Who's next across the line? Not KD. Someone's going to pop up. It was Kieran in that Williams. He just loses out to Reflection by just over a tenth and a half. The time's coming in thick and fast for the drivers here. Vessier on his lap. Legend trying to get a cheeky toe from one of the Mercedes there. Very cheekily trying to cut across to try and get as much toe as possible. Not quite work out for him, but, you know, good try at least. R2 rounds the final corner, beat another pretty quick driver on his day, but not very quick at the moment. 34.9, best he can do in that Alpine as the McLaren of Vintage begins his lap. No, he's not finishing his lap. Why is that? Oh, it was Dark Shadow going to the pits. My bad. Vintage using the 77. He won't be able to use that next season. He'll have to find a different name because obviously Valtteri Bottas will return for and reclaim his number from good old Vintage. Vessier still on lap. Legend in the Haas rounds the final corner. First of the Haas drivers to complete a lap. 33.6 P4 for Legend. He's Legend. I've said it throughout this season. Very quick driver. He has had a lot of bad luck, and I think without that he could very much have potentially been a factor more in this championship. But as things stand, he'll be helping Haas take the Constructors Championship in the 100% League, which, whilst not the Drive Championship, it ain't bad. As someone that has won the Constructors Championship, it's all right, especially if you lose out on the main title. Vessier now coming around the penultimate corner in the Aston Martin. His teammate Lewis O'Reilly P5. What can Vessier do? Rounding the final corner, DRS opened for a few seconds before the line. 34.1. He jumps in just behind his teammate by exactly a tenth of a second, so very close there at Aston Martin. Equaz outlap, Rocket League outlap. Sean, who could have got a podium last week in Singapore. Well, I thought he was on for a podium. Unfortunately, he decided to do a Ferrari and failed miserably. Knowsley up the line. Only a 35.9 for the Kick Sauber driver, so a bit of time there for Knowsley to find. Ginger Rage begins his lap. We're right on board with Ginger Rage because why not? It'd be quite funny, I think, personally, to watch as Ginger Rage into turn 1, obviously that massive altitude climb into turn 1. And we can actually brake a lot later than you think because unless you're burning overtake, you're actually what they call derating, so you're actually not accelerating. So you could, as he cuts the corner massively there, clearly I jinxed him by going on board with him. We'll stick with Rocket Lee. Rocket Lee in the Williams. Yes, it is. Why did I think it's Williams? The point is I thought Kieran was in the Williams. My bad. So the reserves for today are Dark Shadow in the McLaren, Lee in the Williams, and KD in the V-Cup. So, Rocket Lee, very quick driver, I know that. He raced me a lot in bronze last season. Very rapid driver, even if he can't always keep his car in the right direction. So he could definitely be a threat for the points tonight. Definitely, I would assume, maybe bottom half of the top 10 at the least. But we'll see how he does. He's in the Williams, so it's not likely the quickest car in the world. But Rocket Lee into the tight hairpin just before the long back straight. Like, I like this track. Genuinely, it's a nice track. I do genuinely quite like this track. The only downside is I do feel like it's not very original because turn 1, okay, cool, fine. Then you've got Maggots and Beckett's from Silverstone. Then you've got the double left hand of the Bahrain. Then you've got turn 8 of, like, it doesn't really feel like it is its own track, but it's not its own track. You know, it just doesn't. It feels like it's a mishmash of other tracks. Some tracks, fantastic tracks. Silverstone amazing, Istanbul Park amazing, Bahrain amazing. But sometimes, like, come on, a little bit more originality. But I guess that's America for you. In a nutshell, Rocket League coming to the end of his lap, very clean so far. No invalidation, but there's still 2 corners to go. And it can be quite easy to invalidate at the penultimate corner if you just take too much cover on the inside or just run a little bit wide. But he's very very respectful of the track limits. As he rounds the final corner up to the line, slight wiggle of the rear, DRS open, and it's 34 flat, 3 milliseconds off Lewis O'Reilly and 2 milliseconds ahead of Jay Hings. P6 Rocket League, told you, bottom half of the top 10, no trouble. Who was that popping himself up? That was Equaz, our championship leader, P3, but still 4/10 off his title rival Reflection and 4/10 off pole position. KD in the V car coming to the end of the long DRS straight. His sector 2 time 2.8, that's not bad, but he's purple according to the game, but we know that isn't necessarily true because this game just loves to give purple sectors to anyone. Because why not? It's funnier when everyone gets one. KD now round the long right-hander of turn... I don't know what corner it is. I think there's 20 corners, so I'm assuming turn 18 if it counts as one long corner or 6 small ones. I don't know. Getting into turn 19, he's out of battery already before he's even hit the last corner, so maybe needs to be a bit more careful with KD with his battery usage up the line. It's going to be a 33.9, so this himself P6. Nicely done, just clear of Lewis O'Reilly, but maybe needs to do a bit more careful on the old battery. Just purely because he was out quite early on. Sean is also out of battery and still has a lot of it left somehow. But that is the conundrum that is Ginger Age, and he goes P18. He 5 milliseconds off vintage, so maybe if he has a bit more battery left at the end, he could be of more use. Reflection is already up by a 10th. We can see us into the 32s quite early on. He's up by just over a 10th according to sector 1. Kieran as well. What is his sector 1 looking like? He is up as well. It is very tight between the top 2 at the moment through the first sector. Reflection will stick with him. He'll be the first one to finish this lap for his second run. So clearly Kieran saying that he needs to use up his soft tyres, not really seeing them much as a race tyre. Reflection into the left hand of what is his sector 2 looking like. It is up. He's still kept that 10th and a half up. Looking good for Reflection. What is Kieran though going to be doing? We'll check on him once he gets close to the sector 2 split time. Reflection though coming round, slight wiggle of the rear end on traction, but looking pretty clean from the Petronas Mercedes AMG F1 driver. That was, who's that popping up? That was, I think, someone popped up. I think Mad Max might put himself into P7, but Reflection now. The battery light is flashing. What is he going to do up to the line? Can he get into the 132s? He can, the 32.9. How is Kieran responding? He's also up, but not by enough. He's not enough up to be able to get into pole position, but there's still final 2 corners and a final sector to complete for Kieran SF1. He's been very rapid so far, using all the curbing on the right. Can he get close? Can he take visual pole off Reflection up to the line for Kieran? He can't. He does improve to a 33.1, but he still remains 2/10 off of Reflection. So Reflection pushes the bar up a little bit, just gets it slightly further out of reach. Legend going again. KD on an in-lap. Mad Max, if he's on a push lap, he's at a horrific sector 1, so I don't think his fuel light is flashing. Marsky in the one. That is clearly a Ferrari. They don't even look alike. Knowlesley pushing again. Knowlesley's a bit of a disappointment at the moment. Only 35.9 for him. And Ginger Rage is using qualifying as practice clearly because he's still going around on the same set of tyres. So what's the sector 1 looking like? He's that's matched it, so that's not bad. Serious Mushroom doing what Serious Mushroom does best, and that is not qualifying, because why qualify? It's too easy. Ginger Age continuing on, so a bit of a lull on track. We've had a couple of second runs from people. Some people electing not really to do a second run or actually saving soft tyres for the race, but people are coming out now. Equaz and Kamara Lacer. Sit with Legend. Legend giving the Knowlesy there a fantastic turn. Knowlesy would have been gaining a lot of time from that. Let's see what his sector 2 split is like. He's up by half a second, so that is at least going to put him between Beat and Marsky. But I'm certainly hoping for a little bit more than that in Will Knowlesy in the kick Sauber. Flicks it left through the double left-hander up to the turn 8 copycat. Knowlesy coming round the long right-hander. Using a lot of batteries, so sector 3 can be quite good because a lot of people are struggling to make their batteries last till sector 3. But Knowlesy rounds the final corner. What can he do in the kick Sauber up to the line? He's going to do a 34.9, gains nearly a second, but not enough to get any higher than P14. Now, of course, reminder, these are realistic cars, so that Sauber is a bucket of bolts, to put it lightly, but still expecting more from Knowlesy. We still have no sign as well of Lucas Percy. Time is running out for him if he wants to join and get a lap in. Of course, he could join and just not set a lap and probably still win the race. But if he wants to win the championship, he needs to start really whittling down that gap. We have 5 rounds to go after tonight, and obviously without him partaking last week, he's now he's 41 points behind, 43 points behind, sorry. So he definitely would need to get a wiggle on if he wanted to close that championship. Dark Shadow has more or less matched his first sector a bit wide there for the McLaren reserve. Let's have a look at Equaz. He is up by a tenth, but he's not quite what he needs to potentially get on potential par with Kieran and Reflection. They were in the 24s through sector 1. Equaz did a 25-1. So he has a bit of work to do, but he is catching up to the back of Hings, who is... he kicked well out of the way there. He knows that he does not want to give Equaz a toe, especially given Equaz is fighting for the championship with Jay Hings, his teammate. So Hings getting well out of the way. Good for him. Equaz continuing down this very long back straight, breaking heavily into... I need to work out what numbers these are, because, you know, good feeling of names. Sector 2 up by 4/10, so Equaz has clearly heard me slacking off his Sector 1, and he's going for it. Sector 2 is up by 4/10. That would put him on par with Kieran, but he still needs to find a little bit more time in Sector 3 to be able to put himself in the quest for pole. Equaz coming around the long right-hander. He has a McLaren up the road of Dark Shadow, who shouldn't really cause much of an issue for the Hash driver as he comes down and round into the penultimate corner. What can Equaz do? It's looking good through Sector 2. What is the final time? Is it enough to take provisional pole? No, he misses out by 6 milliseconds. He's off by 6,000ths of a second. Equaz second driver into the 132s, but he just has missed out by the skin of his teeth, and I think he might not have enough time to do another run. What is left on the clock? Can I please see it? Please go yellow flag. 2.5. Nope, that is Equaz done. He's not going to get pole tonight. He has done a fantastic lap, though. He really pushed a Reflection there. So Equaz has done really, really well there, but not going to be enough for him to take pole position going out on the lap. Kamara Racer has done a lap. He's up to P4. Very good job there from the Alpine. Jay Hings going again and up by 2/10. That is a good Sector 1 from Jay Hings in the Mercedes. He said Red Bull. I'm really struggling with names tonight, and I don't know why. But I can start a new job tomorrow. Very excited about that. I'll be bartending, ladies and gentlemen. So if you want a drink, go somewhere else, because I will not serve any of you. I'm joking, of course. You don't even know where I'm... Rocket Lee has done a 33.9, so he's done a good lap there from the Williams team. He's the lead Williams driver at the moment, but not by much. Mad Max is there and thereabouts, and he still has a lap to go. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We are into the final runs of this qualifying session. The final pushes for the push for pole for tonight's 100% race here in Texas at the Circuit of the Americas. We have 19 drivers in, 18 of them, 17 of them are on track, the 2 Rebels, and drivers to be in the pits. So we'll see who's going to be the first one to cross the line. Reflection is going again, see if he can beat his time of 22.9. Vintage as well. Who's going to be next? I think a lot of people. Okay, Dark Shadow has tried in the pit lane, so he's done for the day. KD in the V Cup. Who's the next to cross line? That is Legend starting a lap. Equaz is pitted. He's done for the day. Kieran going around. I just want to find someone who's actually on the. Oh, KD's going to be blocked by the. I can't tell if that was a block or if that was him trying to give him a toe. Either way, I don't know if KD's going to be very appreciative of it because he's down, and that is going to be his qualifying. Down. I don't know if that was a block or if that was an attempted toe. Either way, Rocket Lee might have something to atone for in the Stewards, as Rocket Lee is just taking his own go to track. Who needs to go on to okay? What is Rocket Lee doing? Anyone know what Rocket Lee's doing? Because I sure don't. Does he work how he's not making a run for the line and keep out the way of everyone? Because the game will just put his AI on and I don't know. It'd be nice to know because I can't see because there's flags everywhere. He's not making run in time, so he might. That could be a pain in the proverbial backside for some. KD into the pits. Mad Max pushing on. Oh, we have a lock up there. Next will be a Ferrari though of not Marsky. Liam. No, he didn't make it around in time. Wonderful. Right, we have a Reflection coming down into the final corner. What can Reflection do? He's up by a little bit. Can he push pole? Just out of reach for everyone else. That's a bit of a bad exit from him. He does by 3 milliseconds improve to take provisional pole. Next across the line is going to be, I think, the other Mercedes of Jay Hings, who has invalidated. His lap will not count. So I think we're sticking with Legend here in the Haas. He's up by nearly 2/10, which would put him potentially on to the second row if he can get enough of a gap to Kamara Racer. No, he has invalidated. Legend will start no higher Vessier. So it's going to be Marsky next across the line. In the Ferrari, he needs to find a bit of time if he wants to get into the top 10. About half a second would do him nicely up the line for Marsky. He finds well over that half second. He's well inside the top 10 there. Lewis O'Reilly, I think no, it's Vessier next. Vessier up to the line. He goes P5. Wonderful job there from Vessier. Kieran, what can he do? Can he take back pole? He can with the 32.6. What a lap there from Kieran SF1. He is still quick as ever in that V-Cub. It is an enormous for Aston Martin at third. Very well done to Vessier and Lewis O'Reilly. R2 Beats has binned it, and Knowsley is into the pits after invalidating. So it will be Kieran SF1 who continues his inevitable march towards almost inevitable victory. Just on pole by a very healthy, nearly 3/10 margin over Reflection, who's probably a bit bummed out that he's lost out there to pole, but a very good lap there from Kieran SF1. Can't blame him for that. That was a hell of a lap from him. So well done to Kieran SF1 for that fantastic drive. So yes, we'll quickly run through the results if the game lets me. It doesn't look like the game is going to let me, so that's fun. Thanks game. Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna, no, okay. Well, we'll go a quick break, and when we return, we have 56 laps of the Texas Grand Prix. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. The fun is just beginning. What a quick get that, but indeed, Knowsley, 19th in DNS. No, Lucas Percy to grace us presence this evening. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, okay, and I don't really tend to be. But ever since Kieran's showed up, Lucas Percy hasn't really. So, I mean, I know that they did Zandvoort together, but are we gonna? Can I launch a conspiracy theory that Lucas Percy is actually Kieran, just on a different account? You know, can I launch that conspiracy theory that it's actually both of them at the same time? Apologies for that if you heard that. I hope you didn't. I muted myself. If you did, I apologise. Needed a quick swig of a drink to get me going. Ready for this evening's race, and we have the full trifecta, everyone. We have hards, mediums, and softs. Isn't that beautiful? Hards for Kieran, so he's going long in his first stint. Mediums for Reflection, Equaz, Camaro, and Vessier. Lewis O'Reilly has gone hard. Legend Marsky, Hings, Rocket Lee on mediums at KD hard. Mad Max medium, R2 Beat, and Vintage soft. Nosy medium, Dark Shadow hard. Liam hard. Ginger Age medium, and Serious Mushroom medium. So mostly medium. 4 hard. 5 hard, and 2 soft. So the majority of the grid going medium. Of course, medium is your run-of-the-mill, bagging average, bog standard tyre. So not a surprise there that is the main choice for people, but we do have everyone else as well deciding to choose to do different things. Right, waiting for the drivers to finish their lap. It is sunny for Texas. We can sometimes get rain here in Texas, but not all the time. It can be a little bit of cloudy weather. Of course, we had 2015 was a wet race in real life. But so it can be a bit of rain here and there, but dry at the moment. I think if there was wet weather, we'd probably see a bit, maybe a bit more uniformity from the drivers over the serious momentum coming around the final corner. So we will now wait for the drivers as Knowsley and Dark Shadow hit each other. Well done, you two. So they've immediately popped up onto the grid. Kieran is quite far back in his own pack. He's not quite. Quite slowly down, start finish straight. Thank God there's ghosting, because otherwise that would make things very awkward. He's also quite how Kieran's okay. Anyway. They're all lining up on the grid. He's parked himself very much over to the left. He's going to be pointing directly at Reflection. There are 5 races left after tonight. There is still 2 championships to be won. 2 drivers, 1 crown. Who is going to triumph after 56 laps here in Texas? 5 red lights. And we are racing in Texas. This is like a good start from Reflection, though. A bit of wheel spin in the second half. Equaz could be on to be able to launch past him here. Equaz to the outside. We can't look. Overlook Reflection. Equaz, bit of contact there with Kieran. Kieran runs a bit wide, and Reflection back up the inside. Slight contact with the 2 championship rivals. Here comes Tomorrow Race trying to go around the outside. Can't quite get it done on Equaz, but he holds the position. They've all made it through turn 1 unscathed for the most part. They're still dancing. People jumping over curbs there as they're still 2 wide positions. KD and Marsky fighting hard. Jay Hings up. Rocket Lee's gone round. Rocket Lee round in the Williams. He's going to drop to the back of the grid for that one. Rocket Lee is round. Still the yellow flag is gone green though, so he has kept up with his kept up with the pack, and he doesn't have any wing damage from the looks of it. But Kieran continues to hold the lead from Reflection, from Equaz, from Vestiaire. I'll pull up the tyres, not tyres, we're not tyres, position changes. Vestiaire up 1, Legend up 1, KD up 2, good stuff. KD 3 for Vintage, and Knowsley 3 for Liam as well. So some good starting there from people, but generally not too much difference as we head down the back straight for the first time. People ducking and weaving towards the back. Jay Hings looking there potentially defensive as Vintage and Knowsley go side by side. Vintage has pretty good race pace, and he's on the soft tyres. Last round that Sauber, and I think that is RTB. Well, trying to have a go. Soft tyres looking good at the moment. Can he get it done? No, not quite. Knowsley holds the inside line into the double left-hander. Side by side for Jay Hings and KD, but KD comes out on top. Hings wants that position back. He's on the medium tyre, he's on the quicker, grippier tyre at this stage in the race, and he would like that position back. Thank you very much. But they are as they head down into sector 3. Out front it is Kieran. He's got Reflection and Equaz all over him. Vestiaire just about dipping out of DRS range as Kieran trying to break the tyre a bit there. To Reflection, not it does much difference. Vestiaire might have to push a bit, keep up with the top 3. KD again under threat from Hings. Hings up the inside into turn 1. Has Hings outbroken himself? No, Hings gets it nicely done into turn 1. Hings up into P9, and he takes the position off of the V car. Further back down the grid, Dark Shadow, Rocket Lee. Dark Shadow is overtaken by Rocket Lee at the back of the grid as they all filter through turn 1. Knowsley's only got 3 seconds for corner cutting. That is I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's good or bad. Good because it's incredible he's done it so quickly, or bad because Marty's got 3 seconds. Jesus Christ, but it's lap 2. How have you picked up 3 warnings in a lap and a half? Get your shtick together. He's now back down the back straight, but for the first time with DRS, and Vestiaire did keep DRS, so that will help him keep ahead of Legend. Is Reflection going to go for a move on Kieran? I think he's way too far back from the V car. Yes, way too far back there for Reflection. Nothing to be done there. Any moves further back down the grid? No, I think they're all still a bit too bunched up in the DRS trains. There to be much of a thought of overtake. Kieran pushing on with the field pretty much still up behind him. Vestiaire is clinging on to DRS like his life depends on it, which he mostly does, because if he falls out of DRS range, he could be in some serious trouble from those behind us. There's a lot of things going on. Mad Max and Rocket Lee, the 2 Williams, is fighting down further down into Rage as well with Liam. I think Mushroom got past Liam there in the Red Bull, so Mushroom up to P14 from the back. On to lap 3. Back to the front, Kieran again as Equaz sits fast up the race. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you fast lap because Dark Shadow's got 3 seconds now for track limits. Up into turn 1 now for the first time with DRS. Again, no overtakes really coming up yet. Everyone's still too close to each other to really get a move done in the conventional places, which is why we are seeing it in the unconventional places. Oh, and RTB is on straight to the back of Vintage there. Unfortunately for him, he's going to slip and slide his way down the hill. There from Knowsley massively. On KD is on the hard tyres. He's dropped out DRS to Hings. He does have the soft ones behind him. Not sure how long those softs will last as Liam picks up 3 seconds for his track limit excursions. Not sure how long those softs are going to do Vintage and RTB any good. But KD just outside the DRS of cars ahead. Speaking of DRS, up the front, Reflection's had a really good exit. don't think he's pushing on for the move. He's going to try and get behind here for now and just enjoy the DRS and get pulled along. Once this field strings out, that is when you have to think about pit stop, think about traffic, how are you going to be doing compared to the others around you, and where you can't, if you pit. Of course, not pitting yet, because there's no impetus to do so. Equars continues on P3. He'll want to get past Reflection as quickly as possible. To be honest, Kieran can actually probably be quite bold here, because both the drivers behind have a championship to think about. So he can probably be a little bit ballsy, because he knows that neither driver wants to really risk a DNF or a massive loss of points at this stage in the championship. We are, as I said, 5 rounds to go after tonight, 7 points between the top 2. So you do not want to be at a big disadvantage after tonight. Even a 20 or 25 point disadvantage is a massive hurdle to overcome, regardless of what is still to come in terms of the calendar and the wildcards. Marsky has moved past Lewis Riley into P7 as Riley has a terrible exit there. So if I get those hard tyres to work for him. Through sector 1 they go. Equard says they made a mistake in sector 1 because he's dropped just about out of DRS range. Can he draw himself back in by the time they reach the detector point? Just after this corner here, might burn a bit out the corner. He's just about got in. Detector point is there. So that's where the detector point is, and he's just about scraped himself in, but he's had to push a bit and use a bit of battery before he didn't want to use. So Equard's potentially making a mistake there. He's going to feel it now, because the top 2 are going to probably burn a lot more battery. And Kieran can pull away even whilst Reflection has DRS. So Reflection has DRS, but can't make that gap any smaller. So very strong drive there for Kieran so far, especially considering he's on the harder of the 2 compounds out of those 2. Legend as well, very good job in 5th place. He'll be happy now just to have a little bit of a happy, just a decent race, just a strong race where he doesn't get rammed or spun or something crazy happens to him. I'm sure he'll be very happy with that. To sector 3. Quite quiet generally across the circuit, as I said. I think we're still a bit too early on in the race to see much overtaking. It was dipped out DRS. I think this might be it. Yes, he's out of DRS completely now. Is the Haas driver. Kurtz's just about hanging on to DRS to the Williams, but not by much. I think he gets DRS as well this lap. Dark Shadow picks up another 3 seconds for track limits. Equard into turn 1. He's got a lot of work to do in sector 1 if he wants to catch up to Reflection to get back into the DRS range. He's to look behind now, rather than ahead as Knowlesley, and Mushroom up past Knowlesley. Mushroom up to 213. Good, strong opening few laps there from Serious Mushroom. He's just a second away from Beat and Vintage, whose soft tyres probably will start going off in the next few laps. So Pelly can come up and tell me what their tyre strats are, and I think that is going to be Reflection out of DRS now too. Kieran burnt out of the corner. Did he burn enough and quickly enough? I think he did. Yes, he did. Reflection out of DRS. So the top 3 starting to string out a bit. Equard has really fallen off. He's now needs to keep an eye on Vessier, who himself is working for Legend. He's have to keep an eye for Kamara Racer. So here we go. The field starting to string out a bit. They're no longer as close to each other as you would have thought. And now we have a chance for more overtakes. Kamara Racer really nearly goes up the back of Legend there. He nearly put that happen for spin, which was really how how the season has gone so far for this, really, if you think about it. But he's able to keep out the way. So very good job there from Morrison to not hit the back of it. As they come round and down the hill. A lot of elevation changes in this track, of course. So a lot of changes there as Kieran sets another fast lap of the race. He's just pumping lap after lap after lap. They might need to do another put in that kick Sauber alongside Luke Percy. You know, about that nonsense. You go to V Carb and Kieran goes down to what do we call it? Kick Sauber, sorry. Really having a brain fart here. My dad has called me just before it started, and it's really throwing me off. And Equard picks up a 3 seconds. Oh, so that could be very costly. Considering lap 6 of 56. And he's well out of DRS, and he's got Vestiaire all over his Vestiaire. So that was a really bad attempt at a joke. Down they go, and Vessier still behind Equinox, but you've got to wonder if it's if not a when. A when, not an if, sorry. He gets past that Haas. Of course, we know the Haas generally not great on his tyres. Vintage RGB swap places. The two swap runners fighting hard, and here comes Serious Mushroom on the outside of Beat. Can he get the move done? He's getting good traction. Oh, the bang wheels. Mushroom go over the inside of the line. Yes, he gets the move done. Beat trying to hold it on the outside. Nope. And Mushroom is up and through into P12 as Liam picks up 2 seconds. Crikey, people, it's lap 6. How are you people making up penalties this early in the race? KD now and finishes the top 10 inside tyres points. So look, goes the yellow flag. That is Rocket Lee has gone, I think, for a spin or off of track. He has his front wing on all 4 tyres, so that's a good start. He, yes, quite far away from the time there. Team Rocket Lee, not his even so far. He last away from Reflection. He just disappeared down the road. Equinox as Vessier as a Gumby Legend has Command Racer, but no one really making overtakes at this stage. We could be into a stage of tyre conservation, making sure that the tyres get to the end of the stint with decent enough grip for this track. Pretty easy to decide to start spinning and putting the wall. Even though the barriers aren't that close, it is quite easy to lose grip with your with overheating tyres or very worn out tyres. We'll go back to Vessier. Decent amount of battery. Can he think about getting moved on the Haas? Haas gets a good exit. But Vessier closing. DRS open. Equinox out of battery. Vessier up the inside. Here we go. Vessier right up the inside. Nice and cleanly done. And I think Equinox helps facilitate that overtake. Well, basically it's past Legend. I think Equinox at the damage to none there. Didn't want to lose too much time fighting the Aston Martin. But the Haas is both down a position apiece. Equinox down to 4th. Legend's down to 6th. So not a great lap there for the Haas team, but still a lot to play for. A long time to go in this race. Who knows what's coming and what's going to happen next as we come to the end of lap 7. So Kumar Racer round and into the final corner. To begin lap 8, Kieran has checked out front. Vessier has got now Reflection behind him. It's another yellows. Who's that for? That's for no. His Mushroom. So Beat pits already at the end of lap 8. So after Beat pits already, goes to show you those slots are very, very, very fragile. And what is he going to go on to? A set of the medium tyre, so a longer second stint for after Beat. We'll be hoping to push deeper on into the race, which commits him now to at least a 2-stop, if not potentially a 3-stop there. Potentially medium hard. Ginger Rage picks up 3 seconds for his track limits excursions. Crikey O'Reilly, people just cannot stop contacting at this track. So after Beat out in dead last, but on fresh medium tyres. So interesting to see what people are going to do if it's a 2-stop or potentially a 3-stop race. This track can be pretty hard on tyres. You do have a lot of high-speed lefts and rights. You know, lefts and rights through the first sector, and you do have a very long right-hander through the third one. So yeah, very difficult tyre as Equinox has got past Vessier into out through the DRS zone. So very difficult track to keep your tyres alive at, and obviously have to be in one of the worst cars on the grid. So potentially not having much capability to save those soft tyres to get even into double digits, but he's now pushing on, and he will look to make a massive undercut on those around him. Vintage, Mushroom, potentially even KD, because he's given the length of which KD is going to go into this race. I also wonder if anyone's picked the harder tyre preset where they get 2 sets of hards instead of the 2 sets of mediums, but we'll wait and see how that all plays out. We're only on lap 9 of 56, so a very much still a long way to go in this race. Class has Vessier and Kamara Racer and Legend. This train for third has grown a little bit. It's gone from 2 to 4. So Kamara Racer keeping those guys up the road ahead, honest, even though they aren't really fighting that much. There's another yellow. That is, who's that round? That's Rocket Lee into the wall again, or not again, he's run again. And Dark Shadow going to pits as well. Rocket Lee, I think, just full time on those medium tyres. They are probably burning the cut. So Shadow's in early. That's an early stop for him. I thought he was an stop. Yes, don't stop for Dark Shadow. So in the pits for him. Opposite of mediums for him. Rocket Lee, what's he going to go on to? That is a set of hard tyres for Rocket Lee to go long now after he's lost those medium tyres after being pass in the Alpine. No surprise there. He'll catch up the back of Mad Max pretty soon, I'm sure, because of that tyre offset. Equaz, yeah, I think they're trying to just trade the OS here, trying to stay back behind each other. just because that is what definitely what makes recharge the battery. A track like this, you go and recharge it pretty much here all the way through until you get to the left hand and then aim these around to the first section if you want to. Yeah, I'm surprised that people are running out of battery as much as they are, but then again, to have battery, to use all your battery, you need to recharge your battery. So, it's surprising, but not a million, not entirely impossible. As we now are into double digits, lap 10 of 56 Vessier with DRS. Kieran 4 seconds clear of reflection. Those hard tyres, I think, starting to really come into their own. Also attached to that V-carb driven by Kieran. We're a bit lonely out front, out there, but he's pushing on. I think if he'd joined maybe 4 or 5 races earlier, he could be talking about him fighting for the championship. But as things stand, I don't think there's much he'll be able to do to have a shot at the championship. He might be able to influence it, but he won't be able to win it. It's really likely, especially reflection in Equaz finish as they are. The Equaz, as I said, isn't Western falling right now. If the race finished as it is, he would fall to 6th, and that would be give reflection to lead the championship back again. But that's the thing with this championship, as close as it is, it's just swinging back and forth between the two, which is not bad. It is going to go down, I think, to Abu Dhabi, the last race of the season, which some smart cookie decided, because it worked so well in real life. Some smart cookie decided that good old 4 or 5 races is going to be fully wet points and race points, pretty much double point. So, Abu Dhabi down the middle, not going to go to the reservation for that 2.5 they've got to all add it up. But Vessier onto Equaz. Keeping up in Command Racer hasn't actually been able to really keep in the DRS either, so unfortunate there for the Alpine, but he's still doing a good job keeping the legend behind. Marsky as well, doing a very lonely race to P7 with Marsky. He's not very good in qualifying. Marsky just sit in, he'll just appear in like P8 or 9, and you'll go, how have you got there? But he'll just sit there, he'll walk around, as that was Knowles, he's gone off again in the kickstart. He's gone off again at that same corner. I can imagine he's had a couple of really harsh and slides, because that corner there, once your tyres start overheating, because it's such a long cambered corner, once they sort of spike and overheat, you start sliding, and it can be quite a terrifying corner on old overheated tyres. But yeah, it continues on. There's no massive issue at the moment. So continuing on, no safety cars needed as of yet. Hope you not need any safety cars, because it's going to be quite a long race. 56 laps at a minute 30 a pop. As Dark Shadow comes up. He didn't get disqualified, like, genuinely. He's on 12 seconds and 11 laps. He's got more penalties than they've done laps of this track so far. That is remarkably impressive. He could genuinely get disqualified at this rate. I don't know if there's like a limit to the second penalty you get before you get disqualified. But if there is, Dark Shadow is very much going to reach it soon if he continues on as he is. That is, again, very impressive. Oh, that's a bit wide there from Lewis and Riley. KD has not sure I'm there. He's ghosted. He's still in the lobby. Lewis and Riley left him back through. I think he is not sure what happened there. I think Lewis and Riley maybe have took the V-card off the track, or in a manner that did not seem befitting to him. Dark Shadow, you've just got a penalty. How? Okay, he's disqualified. KD continues on though. They've lost a lot of time with Musket. They're still gaining on Musket a bit. I think that now that the hard tyres are coming into their own a bit, but this squabbling is not going to help them. They need to work out who's going to lead this chain and pull themselves off the back of the Ferrari. Ferrari. I hate this like that. But they are pushing on into lap 12 of 56. Down the hill as Rocket Lee and Dark Shadow are still fighting very hard. Not sure what's going on between these two, but they're fighting extremely hard for effectively last place. So, yay, I guess. And Kieran now coming down the hill. Knowles picks up another 3 seconds. So here's track limit excursions. I think this could be a race decided on track limit. If there's a late safety car here, there could be some people in some serious trouble if you have a late safety car, because there's going to be so many penalties given away. But yeah, the track's kind of quiet at the moment. Everyone's kind of filtered out a bit. closest battles are 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th, and 8th and 9th. Nothing incredible. Inside, no, he thinks better of it on KD. So I think it's going to be quite a calm race, actually. I say that now, it's probably like 6 safety cars, and maybe a red flag or 2. Dr. Evan, look at me, what are you two doing? They both decided, well, we're not going to get anywhere close to the pack, so we're going to fight super hard for literally last place. I mean, good on them. You know, they're keeping going. That's what I'd see here in ALR, but they are literally fighting over pretty much dead last. Oh, yeah, that's a bit close. I guess they're giving us some on-track action. Oh my god, so much fun. Oh my god, there's going to be a collision in a minute. They're still going to take each other out. In the background there, RPB continuing on. These guys aren't even on the start-finish straight yet. Oh my, that is going to be... These two are going to kill each other. This could be the course of saying something else. Just watching these two just nearly kill each other. Rocket Lee has lost out on DRS to the McLaren, but he's pushing on, and the McLaren is going to take the lunge. He is going to take the lunge into turn 1. Walks up a bit, McLaren gives him room, Lee jumps across the curb, but I think, yeah, Dark Shadow has kept him covered for now. Push on. Oh, not so much through here, lads. Vintage and Ginger Rage fighting a bit there. Ginger Rage, I think, got up a boy. Vintage and Mad Max as well. I think Vintage a bit. They are soft tires, not good on that. Quite a long stint for any soft tyre to do. But continuing on, I think Vintage trying to make the two stops work. Too soft and aggressive free stop. I think a lot of people have chosen to be aggressive. That's a good did from him, but there we go. I mean, I haven't touched the brightness, but for some reason the brightness was really bright. It's a little nicer for anyone. Rather than like streams being going into coffee in my face. There we go, yeah. Looks a lot better. Wonderful. I fixed my own problem. Yes, Nosey and Vintage into the pits, Vintage onto mediums, Nosey onto hards. So, quite well behind RTB. Rage had been passed by Mad Max. So, very good undercut there for RTB, but he will now be on some older tyres. But not by a million miles. And this here comes down the hill and into. Did he get 90? Basically, just one, nothing doing for him. It's all very much same at the moment. KD is closing on the back of Marsky though. Obviously those hard tyres are a lot better now. So KD catching up to the back of Marsky, see what he can do against this Ferrari. I'm sure, I think it might be quite for him, given those tyres are now better. But yeah, so Nolan did 14 up from his mediums. So let's say they do 20. Maybe you can eke out a one stop, but you're probably looking at going to like 25, possibly even 30 to get the hard tyres on. So I think a two stop will be better. Do you need hard or soft? We soft, you do like 25 laps or 20 laps on each tyre. So KD catching up the back of Marsky, so that's going to be one to watch in the future. SES on the back of Equars, but not really going for the move on the passing here. Checked out. It's going to be close to 10 seconds at the rate it's going across those hard tires, much better than Reflection's mediums. But Reflection is just content at the moment. He's ahead of his championship rival. The championship rival has a 3-second time penalty to boot, so he can't be too worried at the moment. As we head on to lap 16 of 56. We are just under halfway, being halfway. We're about 30% of the way through this race. Kieran is your leader, Reflection is second, Equaz is third. They are your top three. And RTB is the first of the pitted. Not now though, because Legend is into the pits for the Mogram Haas F1 team. Their home race. You see the American flag there on the halo. Up into the pit box. Also going to be for Legend on a set of medium tyres. That could be expected to be medium hard for the Hash driver. Out of the pit lane. Where is he going to rejoin? He's going to come out probably just ahead of Liam, I would think. There goes Mad Max. Yes, just ahead of Liam. He's going to have to come out not far behind Mad Max. So not terrible. If we can get past Mad Max on this lap, then that would be fantastic. We can push on, but it's just be the fight is Wild Racer. How Wild Racer going to react? He's going to hit everyone else. He's going to hit. He's going to react to it. If he, a lot of these guys leave it, chances are eventually will undercut all of them. But we'll wait and see how they react. If they react, of course, Legend does have some chance to try and still go through it. Warning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 9 drivers do not have that. Fantastic. So KD has got past Marsky. That was very quick. He's really past the Ferrari on those better hard tyres. And then got to past Mad Max. Gets that done nice lead. I think he's trying to get much into one as well. Push on if Mara Racing can respond this lap. He's just so close to SES. DRS, he just can't quite get himself into it. Mara Racing though, he's choosing to stay out, so that is pretty much guaranteeing that he will be undercut by the Hash driver. His Legend now with the parking muscle. That could be an issue. He gets back in on stuff in the direction. So let's see how Higgins into the pits as well for Mercedes. So Jay Higgins into the pits. So he's done 60 laps on his medium. So medium's doing just shy of 20. Some people push it to 20. And he's got a set of the hard tyres. Hard tyres for Jay Higgins. Mad Max is in as well. He goes to medium. What he go on to is a set of the hard tyres for him. Yes, hard tyres for Mad Max. So very split here. Potentially medium hard, medium, or medium, medium hard. Mad Max needs to get his away now. We come up just behind Vintage, but clear off Gingervage. Starts slow. I genuinely think he's going to get disqualified. I genuinely think he's on 18 seconds. He might disqualify all Mad Max. And Gingervage fights hard. He's going to get the move done. That's a bit tight. That's even tighter. That's a bit of contact. Still slow by Tyson. Yes, section. Mad Max has to position to the back again. Martin might be able to take everything up, but certainly not able to do how to get away from him. So good pick there from Marsky. He's literally just doing a short back couple of tenths. Really annoying him. There's a yellow flag. I think Lee's gone. He's gone and he's lost his front wing, but his front wing, is there going to be a VSC? No. And look at that! Oh, he's back with his old fairly dark colour. Kept it going. Kieran is well, it's a great lap. I think he might be able to actually pitch right in the back. Maybe a gap between the stage driver. Here's what we are seeing the first being made. Trying to get their medium tyres off onto different sets. Mushroom is another set of medium, so he's going to do medium, medium, hard. If he can get that 35, 30, 32, 33, he can definitely get a set of hard to the end very nicely. Luckily, if I have to pit, he's missing an air plate on both sides, which I guess is giving him an equal amount of less downforce, I guess. It's going to be great in a straight line. As Rocket League continues on if he does pit, he will go a lap down because Kieran is not that far behind him. So obviously we'll get Lee. Dunway has to pit because he's missing 2 end plates, and that's going to be a horribly feeling car underneath him. But lap 18 or 56. We're halfway, nearly through the halfway. He gets 3 seconds for corner cutting. There's another yellow, and he has missed the pit lane entrance. Let's Kieran go. He's going to drive across the pits. Sure. There we go. He's into the pits. He's a lap down though, Rocket Lee. Unfortunately for him, not the evening he would have wanted. I think he's quick. He's quick. Right direction. So Kieran goes through, and Reflection goes through as well. As Rocket Lee does indeed pit and quit. And I don't think maybe a surprise there. He's our first DNF of the evening. Kieran pushing on. Vestiaire pushing on. We have Market into the pits as well, so people are coming to the pits, walking off of those medium tyres. Hard Runner's probably still got another 25, another probably 7 or 8 laps to go. Kieran's in a position that he can probably let Reflection pit and just keep going, really. Marsky pops himself out of the pit lane just behind his teammates, which was actually quite good. He keeps ahead of Jay Hings. So Marsky behind him, but I'm sure Liam won't put up much in the fight once the teammates get up and running on those hard tyres. So very nicely done there, Kieran pushing on. For him, it is quite a quiet race. You know, we've had a few spins here and there, but there's not much on track action. So that's going to be fun. As they keep on going. Of course, normally if this was a 50% race, they'd be doing 28 laps instead of 56. So a lot for the drivers to try and manage here over the course of what is just generally about 90 minutes. As Kieran is into the pits, that's a very early stop there from the pub, very early. I would have expected him to outlast the leading runners. Hasn't, so he's into the pits. And he's in for another set of the hard tyres. So he did go for the harder tyre pick, so he's going to do probably 20 laps on these tyres and then do a set of mediums, probably, maybe set softs to the end. But he comes out P4, that's how quick he was. He comes out to the, ooh, that's not great, baby. He's come out just behind Kamara Racer, Vestiaire and Equaz, who are all fighting for P3 on the road. Yes, he is. So Kieran, not too difficult to dispatch the Alpine driver. Push on now onto the back with the rest, of course, of Vestiaire and Equaz, chilling in the continued pattern of just sitting in each other's DRS and not fight too hard. Kieran is going to be rapidly needed to push on, doesn't want to get caught in traffic. Not that he really has to worry about it, because he is so far clear of everyone else that the pneumatic gets stuck in traffic, but he won't want to. Kieran, I thought he might have blind at the inside there, but he thinks it's better on it. When that's pulled from Kieran, and he's through on the making it look very easy out there. Here's the I'm sure he will try and get past Equaz into turn 1. So much easier. Command Racing is a 3-second penalty for track 1. No, he's not. But a bit wide there from Equaz. Kieran might get him on the exit here. Down the hill they go. Equaz on the inside. Kieran on the. Oh, he loses a little bit, does Equaz. Kieran's fighting him. And he's through. Kieran up through. That's in second place. After that, a little bit of work to do to get it done, but he is through. He was pushing out after the section, the fast section. He's got over everyone around. Equaz's rear tyres are shot. That was some very, very nifty work there to keep that car in a straight line, because that was some yikes rear tyres that probably aren't really too good. are we now going to try and see some of the medium runners to try and do that one stop? We know Kieran's on a two stop, he has to be because he's gone on to two sets of hard, so he has to go on to something else. Equars now behind Bestiaire, no surprise there, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if Equars dives into the pits because that car looks, I don't want to say undrivable, but I'm bordering on the saying undrivable. It does look like quite a nasty car, so he's still thinking it out. Fair enough, in the Toyota, as Kieran sets another fast lap of the race, no shock there, he has just pitted and he has been the fastest driver on track for much of the evening. As the Mar racer has kind of got the back of his back with P3, effectively P3. Bestiaire ahead of the train now. I think these guys might have got the one stop. Oh, they're trying to make it to two stops, but it's really short. Short stops and pass that one for the other drivers. I think this would be good for them. So it's not impossible if they do, you know, 22 on that to reach that medium, do 12 laps stop at the end. Track. Kieran's got the back of Reflection. Reflection's going to be going on. That's not going to be easy for Reflection to defend. Thank you very much. And back into the lead for Kieran. Up into back into the much P1. Next 20 laps hit again. That is going to go after the team for a while. Limits. 3 seconds from the most, 12 and 6, after the King was 6, Liam's on 18, Mad Max 3, and Dark Shadows on 18. How will you play? Push up on the top line. For him, and Kumar Racer is into the pit lane. Can't get them on track, he's going to try and undercut them in that Alpine. He's well behind. The medium price for the Alpine, and off he goes again. Again. Kumar Racer now toodles down the pit lane. He's the last way up the hill. He's going to pop himself out. Different positions they're fighting for far away to meet the lap here to try and undercut Ekron and Bestiaire. I think, you know, DOS from the teammate down the long straight in the track might give you a little bit of a helping hand in front of the back. Come down into 11 and 12. Coming down the straight line into 12 is after being ahead of go. Here we're trying to crash in. Through for the vehicle zone. Up into the 8th and now to push on 8 cars or Bestiaire going to respond. Let's have a look. Red car that is going on that 2-stop. Terrible, that car is sliding. Red car is in, he bolts into the pit lane. What is he going to go on to? That is going to be the question. Maybe it's a bit hard to do it. I mean, KD's come in and he only did 23 laps on these cars. So 30 might be a bit of a stretch. We'll see. Equars into the pits. Hard times for him. So he'll go long now. We'll see how he can pull off that. KD is going to go onto 7 medium. So KD's definitely going to do 2-stopper. Equars, let's see if he can make those cards. Still only can make those cards last. He's going to come out. Where's he going to come out? Equars is going to come out. Oh, behind Jay Hings. That's not going to be good because he's now got behind the teammate, the champion rival. And not only that, but after Beat has absolutely, he's well down the road. He has absolutely disappeared. Putting next Equars' postcode. Now Equinox is behind a group of people. They're trying to get past Artie Beach, who's on those quite old medium tyres. Not sure Artie Beach wouldn't mind holding up his old direct rival this season for the podium guys. Waiting for 2 seconds for his start limit. Expensive. I am really Marsky is gets past R2B and R2B gets for R2B. And the FCA break into the pits, so Perfection cut by Marvel. I think he might be tomorrow, is it? Legend up second tomorrow racer here. I think, well, he's going to get best, yeah, I don't think he's going to quite get Reflection. Reflection on the hards, but yeah, the hards. Going behind Reflection, but ahead of Vestiaire, ahead of Vestiaire by quite a margin. Not a million miles behind Reflection as well, so that is very good undercut there for our racer. Marsky up to P6 as Vestiaire is coming out right in the middle of these guys. He's not quite been able to, Equinox has been able to undercut him, but he's right in the middle of this skirmish between R2 Beat and Jay Hings, and Hings is thereabouts. Vestiaire has to cut the corner a bit. He's just about ahead of the Mercedes driver. They need to get past R2 Beat because R2 Beat is on a lot older tyres. So you need to get past this out now to Vestiaire, especially now that Equinox has pitted as well as you've got these cars behind him. Equinox as well is there and thereabouts. But yeah, we need to get past his Alpine now. The Alpine is harvesting. Is Jay Hings going to pass him? Probably. Is Equinox going to get past him? This could get a little bit spiky, ladies and gentlemen. Equinox! Oh, a little bit of contact. Oh no! Woohoo! Jesus! Equinox does not slow it down at all, and he's being passed by absolutely everybody. Even KD's going to pass him. Oh, but KD and RTB have come together, and all of a sudden it's all kicking off here in the Texas Grand Prix. Is KD going to get beside RTB? Oh, he's hit RTB. RTB's gone wide. KD's smooth. That's not going to go down well. Equinox went into turn 12 with about 50 metres less track than he probably would have wanted, but he has got through. I don't know if we looked at that after the race for not exactly the well likely driving standard. As Reflection gets past the line in turn 1. Surprise there, they are very differently aged tyres to say the least. Chase after Legend who does the fast both these guys, but out of the tyre offset is Equinox and Jay Hings are fighting. Hings is still there. Can Equinox get him on traction? He should think so. Better tyres. Yes. Equinox is up and through on the better tyre. Back behind Vestiaire again, who's to find himself again. He's the tarmac at the same time. Hit again. KD's got past him. Wow, that is a favourable reset from KD. So KD now putting himself in the mix here for the potential podium positions. These guys are a long way off the Legend, who of course pushes earlier into this race. KD through on Equinox, that's not going to do Equinox any good at all. A good job there from KD, he's passed the Haas. Obviously it's medium tyres on the same age and they are better, but KD runs a bit deep there. Equinox will sniffing to potentially get an opportunity back through, but KD ahead of the Haas. That's not going to do Equinox any good for either this race or his championship ambitions, because he's now behind Kamara Racer, behind Reflection, and behind Legend. But obviously, as I said, Legend is fighting is on a different strategy altogether. KD is now up behind Vestiaire. Vestiaire as well, a little bit far behind Marsky, so these guys have got to clear some traffic. Reflection does have Kamara Racer on his posterior. Reflection is pushing on to try and bridge the gap to the Hatter, has undercut them all with quite an effective evening. Hello, Housley. Reflection worked for a day. Or on that one. Well, I didn't work today. I started work tomorrow. Apologies for internet Housley. I didn't have the chat open, but I do now. Hope you're doing fan-dubby-dozy. Well, it's fan-dubby-dozy. Reflection as KD's got past Vestiaire, so KD is on a roll on these medium tyres. He is steamrolling everyone, pushing himself up toward a potential podium. So Lewis and Wade he is on track 6 at the moment, but he still has a long way to go. He just has to try and catch up to the legend who is holding down the fort for anyone who was an early grip up towards the legend. Nice and early, got it through, got it done. He's now holding pretty much like his Peter on the road. Lewis Riley is in the pits, so Lewis Riley is going to come off of those old hard tyres, and he'll be able to very nice fresh run. Regardless of what compound he's going on to, those are going to be very nice tyres. He'll be able to make some good with such mediums going on to the Aston Martin. So a nice gap there he can pop himself into, and the cars ahead of him will be on quite old tyres. So yeah, he'll be happy with that. He'll be able to make some good overtakes and make light work of the cars ahead. Look at this man Kieran, he is just absolutely, he's all by himself. He is flying out there to him. Come on, Racer. Has he got off DRS to Reflection? No, yes he has. He has off DRS to Reflection. That could be quite difficult for his race. Keeping up with the Mercedes, can be halfing down the straight. So Kamara is still fighting hard for it, effectively. It's P3 on the road. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about with the legend. Yeah, it's very quite fast on the race. But, you know, be quick. Come on, racing even the back of Reflection, striking that one. It's nearly another crash. He's very good at that as well. He's very good at the back of he did the legend earlier in the race. So he's keeping up with Reflection. Reflection is slowly catching up to Legend. Beat pits for his second stop, so this could be a very good 2-3 stop there for R2 Beat. We're going to a set of hard. That could get him to the end of the race, to be fair, so he's done soft, medium, and hard. Kind of come up just behind Knowlesley in the Sauber, so he's going to not be a million miles away. So I'm just reading shocking commentary thing. I am not with it. Katie got past Marsky. Oh! Katie got past Marsky, and I think Vestiaire tried to give Marsky a good shove up the rear for good measure. Oof, that was did he have any wing damage from that? Very visual wing damage, but he might have scarred Marsky's life with some attack off the posterior. Dark shadow. Keep him going. That's here in ALR. We're proud of you for keeping going. Which we really are. Joking, clearly. I am just having a laugh there. We love you, Rocket Lee. You are the glue of this no. Legend is still holding up P2 after his very early undercut. But as you can see there's a Mercedes and an Alpine that are going to make his life a little bit more interesting for him in a few laps' time. But Legend showing good pace, and to be honest, I think Legend deserves a podium. After all the bad luck he's had this year, I think a podium suits him nicely. Especially now that he's so far ahead of everyone, but he does have cars behind on fresher, quicker tyres, and we might have an overtake here for P3. Come on, race it up to the side. Gets something done, not too much resistance there from reflection. Starting for P2 because allowing out front Kieran is making sure that no one else is going to be fighting for P1. So they're all pushing onwards, and after P2 second, another 3 seconds for P4 after it. Way for the situation. Oh, he's got to race. So we're on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Impressive for those 6 drivers, you know. Good. Obviously, they can bite after the stuff. He has them ready, so that's not quite there. Might be looking like a tricky end on those tyres. Pushing, taking much of it. Only 30 laps on those mediums. That is a bit of a surprise there from Serious Russian. I thought he would have done a little bit longer, but he chose not to. Actually picking up with Car Racer there as Ginger Racer. Is that a double Red Bull pit stop? It is a double pit stop. Let's go for hard five to the end of the course. On 30 seconds clear. This guy is absolutely flying. He's untouchable tonight. He's just not being caught by anyone. So he's on flat 32 of 56. Well, another win. And I'm sure there'll be more calls for him to be pushed down another few cars to make it even harder for him. Kumar Racer has got the back of Legend. So the battle for P2 will now commence. I think it was mediums. It was mediums. So he will have to pit again, as will Kieran, as will Kamara Racer. Reflection doesn't have to. I think it would be best to the end of it is down to him. Tonight. Well, I kind of would like to do that one. Good fun, car in that hat. I probably deserve a better car in the hat. I don't know why they slapped me in the house. Anyway, so on the back of the Legend, I think it's quite easy over try to get through the hat at the same time. So you can Legend to go to like Marlow, as well as disappear down the road. Legend as well, trying to weave and break the slipstream. Break the slipstream. Reflection is unable to pass Legend. So Kamara Racer here might have an opportunity to disappear a little bit into the sunset. Whilst the Williams tries to pass the slower Haas Reflection all over the back of Toyota the new car. London there. Leading home speed. Legend is nearly already out of the DRS range of the Alpine. That could be possible. Marsky and Bessier are fighting incredibly hard for P6. Marsky is being overtaken by the Aston, but Marsky trying to do the old switcheroo or the up and under. Can't get it done in that situation. Bessier up to P6 and on the back of KD, whose medium tyres are probably doing still quite well for him. Should be no real issues. Reflection is still stuck behind Legend. He's been stuck behind sector 1. That's what he's stuck behind him. Exactly what the way he needs speed and power on old type. So yeah, that is not good for Reflection. As Vintage picks up another 3-second penalty for track limit transgression. they're really coming up tonight, aren't they? Track limit transgressions, they are really, really, really coming, giving the drivers a hard time for, giving the drivers a hard time. Is it easy track to do track limits? Track limits is quite easy to do here. You just cut a curb, cut a corner, and you get that warning. Reflection has got past the legend, but critically he's lost DRS to the cars ahead, or the car ahead I should say, as Equard gets past Mask. Mask is starting to drop a bit on those old hard tyres. So not the race Muskie would have wanted, but he's still in with a shout with some good haul of points here from the Grand Prix lap 34 of 56. Kieran is still the race leader. Kamara race their second, Reflection third. Reflection is on course to get that second place back once Kamara Racer does. Once Kamara Racer does serve that 3-second penalty. Jesus Christ, what is up with me tonight? I am just brain gone. It's late. I'm tired. It's not actually that late at all. I'm tired. So, yes. Also, good evening, Skate. He's in the chat. I know he is because he's, or not in the chat. You know he's there because he's texting me. But I know I see you, Skate. I hear you, and I see you. So. Legend into the pit, so he's already pitted again for the second time. Hard tyres, he will get to the end on those tyres quite nicely, although he has come out just behind O'Reilly and Mad Max. That's probably not going to do him much good unless he can get those cars relatively easy, especially as considering Riley is on relatively fresh medium tyres. Vintage is pitted as well onto a set of hards that will see him through to the end. I genuinely think Reflection might try and do the one stop here. I know he's on 9-lap old hards. I genuinely think he might try. I don't know why. I just genuinely think he might give it a go. Equaz now on the back of Vessier. Is he going to be able to do anything about it? Down the back straight, don't think so. He's going to be too far behind the Aston. These two resuming their fight from earlier on in the race. According to Equaz's steering wheel, he's got a pit limit on, which is quite impressive considering he's doing double the speed limit at the moment. So great job there, Cody's. Thank you for making such incredible games. Please don't ever disappoint us. Because it's just simply incredible the stuff you put out each year. Lewis O'Reilly all over the back of Mad Max. These two. Mad Max didn't know which way Lewis O'Reilly was going to go. Lewis O'Reilly didn't know which way he wanted to go himself. Up the inside of the Williams. Can he get it done? A bit of a squeeze there from the Williams around the outside. Trying to get the wheel. It's around the outside. He's got the. Oh, geez, Lewis O'Reilly. Getting running outside of Mad Max, and Mad Max is vanquished by the Aston Martin, and Legend has very much caught up now. Those hard tyres are getting up to temperature, and I don't think it's going to be very long before he is past. Legend DOS open. They cross the line for the 35th time, but Legend too far back. Mad Max had a good exit, or maybe he burned a bit more battery, who knows. But these guys now catching up to the back of Jay Hings, so this is going to make Legend's life even harder, because instead of a 3-man train, it's going to be a 4-man train. And although Jay Hings is on quite old tyres, it doesn't make it any easier when everyone in front of you has DRS. As Martin picks up 3 seconds for tracks, limits, transgressions. Honestly, whoever doesn't get a flipping penalty tonight should be given like an extra 5 points. Just not getting a penalty, 5 points, just simply just for not getting a penalty. Yeah, there you are, Skatey. I knew you were lurking. I knew you were lurking. Yeah, good luck everyone, especially those that haven't got penalties, because you're doing a good job at the moment. Legend, can he get past Mad Max? He's got a lot of battery to his name. There's a yellow flag that is just, I think, Dark Shadow getting out of the way of Vintage. Legend DRS open. Both, though, have battery and are both trying to burn. Mad Max is closing in on Vessier quite quickly, and Legend has gone straight through. Mad Max broke very, very early. So Mad Max down to P11. He broke very early. Don't think he really wanted to fight too hard. And now Legend back onto the back of Lewis O'Reilly, but he's on the back of Jay Hings. So this could be a bit of an interesting scuffle, especially now. This is going to help Reflection and Kamara Racer, because Legend's going to undercut them, but he's not going to be undercutting them by as big a margin as previously feared. Reflection though doesn't work on his hard tyres, as does Kamara. Well, to be fair, Kamara can pit for another set and beat Kamara can pit for a set of hards now and go to the end of the race quite comfortably, but he does want to build a tyre delta to Legend, as Jay Hings is vanquished by Lewis O'Reilly. Lewis up into P8. So good job there from the Aston. Oh, Jay Hings has had a massive squirt of the throttle, and he's nearly put it in the wall for good measure. So he has immediately him out of DRS range of Lewis O'Reilly. No, not quite, because Lewis is harvesting DRS through sector 1. That's the issue with harvesting in sector 1, because it's so quite a medium high speed. That was definitely one of Jay Hings. That's probably if you run none, then it doesn't do much of reflection. Has got past Camaro Racer. I did not see that coming. He looked quite far back, but he is through. Is reflection, so he has got the better tyres now, and he's up into P2. Still 32 seconds off the back of Kieran. Kieran could pit and come out ahead of reflection. That is the gap he has to the Mercedes driver, which is remarkably impressive, as Jay Hings is past by Lewis O'Reilly, and Legend gets past Lewis O'Reilly. What? Legend got past Riley. Oh, I think they're all fighting. Wait, where? Oh, Legend being passed? What? What has happened here? Jay Hings. Jay Hings is back ahead of everyone. How has that happened? I'm not sure what I've missed here. Whatever I've missed is... I'm not quite sure how that's happened, but Jay Hings has got past everyone. Okay. Not sure what happened that way. We'll just Jay Hings and Legend side by side into the S section. That is brave from Legend. Hings is able to get through. That's a good penalty. Jesus Christ, guys. Legend being held up here by Hings, which could be part of all the Mercedes master plan. This will be helping reflection massively. Jay Hings parking the bus through sector 1 like no tomorrow. I don't think though this is going to really be able to hold up for much longer as they head on to the DRS zone between 11 and 12. I don't think there's going to be much Jay Hings is going to be able to do about any of this. Jay Hings, DRS is open for Legend. But DRS like flashing, and Jesus, how do you guys get so close on a straight that wide? I don't quite get it. But Legend is through, and Riley's going to potentially do a dive bomb. He does, dives up the inside. Nicely done. Lovely camera angle showing the Aston Martin up and through on the Mercedes. So Jay Hings down into 10th, and now Mad Max will be looking to get past if he can, although they are on same age tyres, so that might not be as straightforward for the Williams. R2 Beat gets past Serious Mushroom. Good job there from R2 Beat. Mushroom trying to do the old switcheroo. Can he get it done? Ooh, he might be able to. Give him plenty of room by R2 Beat. No, nothing R2 Beat can do. Finch gets a penalty. Lewis O'Reilly gets punched. R2 Beat up, being overtaken again on the inside. Ooh, good job there from Mushroom. Nice racing from the pair of them. Hings finally pits. He's done his job. He's held up Legend and Marsky into pits for another set of the hard tyres, which will very comfortably take him to the end of the race. Legend now has a bit of a gap to go before his teammate and Equaz, who have literally been glued to each other this entire race. It's literally just been these two guys. They've been right next to each other pretty much the entire race from lap 1. Basically got to P4, and these two have been fighting over this. Any fuel lights are flashing? Ooh, Dark Shadow's got fuel light flashing. Marston will have fuel light flashing. Oh, yeah, it does. Fuel light is on for him, but no one else at the moment, so no one's really paying for a safety car. Come on, Racer has dropped off the back of reflection. Simon Hitchens, those medium tyres are now worse than his hards. Pick again, he's done 2 sets of mediums. Likewise, near the back of Resi here, can't get much done, and these two closing into the back of KD as well. So the hard tyres start to become better for those in the top 6 compared to those on the mediums. So yeah, tyres definitely becoming stronger if you're on hards at the moment. So yeah, so that is the situation. We still have probably another round of pit stops to go from most of these guys. Definitely for Kieran and Kamara, they've done 2 of the same compound. Reflection can hypothetically go to the end if he wanted to, but I wouldn't surprise if he tries to pit for a set of mediums. I think that Legend, they've quite a way back on track. Legend on tyres that are a little bit fresher does definitely pose a risk, and I'm sure those around him on fresh mediums would also pose a risk as well. So a lot of drivers have a lot to think about as we head into the dying stages of the race. So Equar's now on the back of Vessier. I wonder if he'll be asked to let his teammate through once Legend gets onto the back of these two. But we'll wait and see if they have to get out of the way. Just looking at some F1 news actually has popped up. Nothing particularly major. They're just discussing the budget cap might rise to $215 million for next year. It's coming at 135. Might rise to 215 million. That is that's not bad. I think that's quite a jump. It's also a bit of a random number. Why 215? Well, not 200 or 175. But I think an increase in the budget cap would be nice, just purely because then we can get a little bit more in-season development, a little bit more. Oh yeah. I mean, I still think, and this could be just my personal opinion here, that we should have like a sliding tunnel, a sliding scale for cost cap depending on where you finished. So if you came first, like McLaren, you get like 180, and if you're second, you get 182.5, then 185, like, and then eventually go down to like P11, you get like 200 million. I just think that'd be really good. I think that'd be good. I think it'd be quite fun. I think that's also another way to try and pull the pack goes together. The only downside is the teams at the back of the grid tend to be those that have less funding, so trying to get them up to a higher budget cap probably wouldn't be quite as easy as KD has pitted. So you can go on to be set on the medium tyres for KD to end out his Texan Grand Prix, which will see him to the end of the race handily. Mad Max has also called it a day on those hard tyres. Good stint for him on 23-lap old hard tyres. Now as Mad Max into the pits, what's he going to go on to? It's going to be a set of mediums for him, so medium tyres as well. Get him to the end of the race with very little issue. Where's Kieran in relation to everyone? He's there. He's going to come up to the back of Liam and Vintage. So he's lapped Knowsley, and he's going to come to the back of Liam and Vintage. Not too distant future. Oh no, he's pitting. Yes, he is pitting. I couldn't tell for a second. It looked like he was pitting and then not pitting. Okay. Into the pits, he's not going to be overtaken by anyone. It's set of mediums for him. No trouble there. He's at the end of the race very handily on that set of medium tyres. So Kieran out of the pits, come out to there to Knowsley, but Knowsley's a lap down anyway. So there we are. Knowsley, Kieran has pitted for the last time this race, and he's come out 12 seconds clear of reflection. Domination, I don't know what is, and I think that we call him go to pit Sauber quite shortly. Legend is pushing on. He's closing out to his teammate by 2 seconds over the last few laps, so he's closing in on the back of the top 5. Again, not sure. Like reflection, if he's going to pit, he's to do it in the next sort of 4 or 5 laps. If he can just to get that tyre offset, and reflection can go back a set of mediums if he picked the balanced tyre subset. But I mean, if he picked harder, then I think going to hards now would be a sub-optimal choice. Gates says he's back. Oh god, everyone hired of Australians in the chat. Legend moving on to the back. He has got probably quite a good undercut on the cars ahead if they choose to pit again. Some of them don't have a choice. Kamara race springs to mind. Marsky picks up 3 seconds. Right. Let's have a look at the penalties. So we have 9 for Kamara, 3 for Vessier, 9 for Equars. Crikey. Nothing for Legend. 6 for Lewis. 3 for KD. 12 for Marsky. 21 for Jay Ings. 3 for Beat. Nothing for Mushroom. 12 for Mad Max, 9 for Ginger Rage, 30 for Liam. How has Liam not been disqualified? Liam, how are you still driving? 6 for Vintage, 15 for Knowsley, and 21 for Dark Shadow. I would love to see a late race safety car, just purely for the fact that I just want to see people I just want to see Jay Hings go from P10 to I didn't know how far he was going down. He would just be right at the back of the grid. That is so impressive. Penalties racked up there by our drivers this evening. Not necessarily a reflection of the general pace of the ALR 100% League, but yeah, that is quite impressive as Liam and Vintage are fighting hard. They are. Vintage on 7-lap old hards surely would be a better choice than Liam's 17 lap old mediums. I think that is going to be Vintage through and off into the theoretical sunset. Everyone else is pretty strung out. As I said, Mad Max sets the fastest lap of the race. Good luck there for Mad Max on those medium tyres, although I have a very sneaky suspicion that might be about to be absolutely obliterated by Kieran in the V-car. But we'll wait and see. He might not beat it, but he's going to beat it. Of course, the point for fast lap goes to anyone here, regardless of where they finish. Jay Higgins has picked up another 3 seconds, which means he's now on 24 seconds of time penalties. Dear God, the FIA is probably either having a field day or having an aneurysm trying to keep up with all these track limits. Kieran is going around the final corner. Is it going to be the fast lap of the race? Probably up to the line for Kieran, and it's a 34.8. That's quicker than some drivers did in qualifying. So that is him with the fast lap of the race. Dark Shadow picks up another 3-second penalty, as he's also trying to get himself either unlapped or lapping. I think he's being lapped. I can't tell. He's really blocking Vestiaire there, which probably isn't doing Vestiaire much good at all. Although it might give him DRS, which I don't think Vestiaire will complain about too much. Yeah, Vestiaire DRS. Probably a little bit distracting. And in the pits has come Kamara Racer. Is he going to be able, is he going to come out, what's he going on to? Set of shiny soft tyres for Kamara Racer. He's going aggressive in the end. Set of sauce for him, he will pop himself out. He'll hope to be out ahead of Lewis O'Reilly, which he should be able to do. Yes, he's ahead of Lewis O'Reilly. So Kamara Racer now has 13 laps to push on to the back, catch up. He's 4.6 behind Legend, so he's not actually, like, if Reflection pitted, he wouldn't come out that far behind Legend, but he would then have to try and catch up to, I think he could. Okay, we'll wait and see. So Kamara has pitted because he had to. He hadn't run two different sets of tyres. Everyone else has. So Reflection Vestiaire might be trying to push this to the end on one. Equaz as well might be trying. I think and Equaz as well. Legend has done two. So. So Legend closing up to the back of these two, who continue to squabble. I wonder if Equaz will let Legend go. I mean, isn't much of a choice because Legend doesn't have a time penalty, so really not much Equaz can do. Equaz has a bunch of 3 seconds anyway, so yeah, not much anyone can do. Reflection going to pit there. Reflection is staying out, and I think Reflection might be trying to do a one-stop strategy here. Archie Beat gets past Jay Hings. These two going to be battling quite hard, although Jay Higgins does have a boatload of penalties. Beat goes a bit deep, but completely clear of Higgins. He's fine ahead of Higgins for it not to be any sort of a factor. After Beat continues on, and he has actually dropped Higgins, so Higgins is struggling a bit, even though he's on pressure hard tyres, but muscled out to try and deal with. So I'm not quite sure what's happened to Jay Higgins. Has he got damage? I don't know if he knows what's going on. He's struggling a bit. KD gets past Lewis O'Reilly. Not a surprise there. KD on far better tyres. Now Legend is almost within striking distance of Equaz and Vestiaire. He's not too far away from either of these two. What will happen at Haas? Will Equaz let him go? I think they might as well, because Legend here. He's on better tyres, and I mean, he hasn't got any time penalties, so regardless, he's getting the third place on the podium deal. He's getting that final position on the podium. I don't think it's going to do them any good if they try and hold him up, if Haas try and hold him up. And they go onto the back straight of that Equaz has just picked up DRS range. So he was in DRS range, and they started to restrain, but he's now he is just not keeping it in, but I don't think he's coming on for his keeps on the back, and I think that will be a plenty overtake. Jay Higgins has been passed by Mushroom. Not sure what's going on for Jay Higgins. He's not got much pace despite his tyres being pretty young, and I think Mad Max might be about to demote him yet again. It'd be interesting to see though, Legend and Kamara. Although Kamara has a penalty, Kamara's on a lot fresher, a lot softer tyres. I think it'd be interesting to see how fast Kamara Racer can go around with this track. See if he can push himself up. I don't think we'll get onto the back of Reflection though. That would be pretty unlikely for the Alpine driver. He is pits on the high and turns on soft tyres despite his superior grip and age. I think we're going to have a 4-horse race for the podium. And of course KD can't be ruled out entirely. He's on 5 lap or mediums. He's on much fresher tyres than the cars ahead, even if he is further back. So KD, one to watch. What are his penalties like? He's only on 3, so as things stand, he would jump ahead of Kamara Racer, but not quite ahead of Equaz. I mean, for Reflection, any position that he can gain on can be gained on any position that Equars loses is a win for him at the end of the day. So every little will help, and I think that is Dark Shadow about to be lapped by KD. No, maybe not that. Dark Shadow vintage. Who knows? Florida has got onto the DRS, as has Legend, so they're all now converging onto this position on track. All converging onto third place, and at the moment it will be Legend who will come out on top just based on the fact that he doesn't have a penalty, which is very impressive considering the amount of penalties we're seeing this evening. So strong stuff from Legendy. What can he do as they drive through and around into the long right hand, and Legend Equals is all over the back of Vestiaire, but Vestiaire is going to be holding on quite stoically to third place as they head into the penultimate corner. Legend has caught up, as has Kamara Race. So we're going to have a 4-horse race here for the end position of the podium, final podium position. DRS is open for all of them. As any of them going to go for a move? Oh, moving out the way. Is that Equaz moving out the way for his teammate? No, he wanted to try and break the slipstream. So Equaz is going to be fighting here. His own teammate for the podium, or is he? Because I think Equaz still has it. Equaz still has the pace, still has the legs on everyone. And they're all going to be flicking their way through the S section. Beautiful shot there of the four cars, throwing their way through the first, through the Maggots and Beckett's complex on this circuit, coming now over the crest of the hill. Wonderful overhead shot. They all flick through. Two cars at the back have the best tyres. Two cars at the front have the weaker tyres. Ginger Rage picks up 3 seconds because he doesn't know where the track is, and they're coming now down onto the long back straight of this track. Longest, best place for an overtake, and Equaz is close, but you know who's also close? Legend, and Legend as well might be trying to inflict some more pain on Vestiaire here. Can they all get past Yassin? I think Yassin's going to be just dropped by one. Haas is the second. Haas going to make a move. No, he has to gently back out. As Liam has been disqualified for receiving too many penalties. That I shouldn't laugh at that. That is remarkably impressive. Liam has been disqualified for track limits infringements. Whoops, I guess. That is another one. Another driver not seeing the checkered flag this evening. That's a new one. That's the first I've ever seen in my ALR career, potentially even my commentating career, a driver has been disqualified for track limits. And I do think Shadow is not a million miles away from also joining him, being DSQ'd. I genuinely think that could be. I think we could have Hings and Dark Shadow, maybe Hings also getting disqualified. Not good for anyone, but yeah, that brings his race to a premature end as Liam. Unfortunate for him in the Ferrari. Again, I shouldn't laugh, but it is quite amusing, to say the least. I don't think I've ever seen somebody disqualified for chat limits. I've seen people disqualified for parking in the pit lane, or, you know, reversing in the pit lane or whatever, but I don't think I've ever seen anyone disqualified for track limits. And he just come out on set of mediums as well, so that is really unfortunate for him. The battle out here has quieted down a bit between these four drivers. I can see now why Reflection didn't want to pit, because he would come out in the middle of this, and as you can see, Legend and Kamara Racer are not really making any ground on fresh tyres. That's made my evening in a nicest way possible, I guess. Legend and Vestiaire next to each other. Kamara Racer is right there as well. Is this going to be a lunge from the Alpine driver? Oh no. He thought about it. He really thought about it, and he's all over the back of Legend, but he just didn't quite. I think he could have gone for it. I do think the gap was there, but who knows how that would have worked out for the Alpine driver, who has to make good while his soft tyres work. I mean, I guess with the tyre offset, the soft tyres probably aren't going to get any worse than the cars around him. But you know, keep him pushing. Kamara climbs the hill for the 48th time this race. Out front it is Kieran, who has dominated from start to finish, and from the back of, I think that is vintage, McLaren is vintage, who's going to be lapped. As Lewis Valley has pitted for another time on the set of the new medium tyres, so he will be absolutely flying at the end. He's got serious mushrooms he'll be fighting. I'm sure he's going to be fighting hard, but we'll go back to the fight for P3. isn't much of a fight because Legend knows he's getting that third place regardless. Kamar's going into the back of NSR Legend there. He's going to hit the back of the Haas. I think that might be a bit of frustration starting to boil over for Kamaro, because look who else is joining the fight. It is KD. We're about to have an extra long DRS train down this straight as Vessier gets past Equard relatively easily. Gets it a little bit deep there though from the Aston Martin. I think is Equard going to have a go? Nope. That's better of it. These two, I think they're kind of working together more than they are fighting each other. Still, at this point in the race, they're really pushing on, trying to help each other more than they're actually trying to fight each other properly. But we'll wait and see. Now the two Hasses are next to each other again, and Legend is getting frustratedly stuck behind them. But obviously, of course, he is, as I said, he's pretty much guaranteed that podium as things stand, and there's having a penalty of his own. Legend into the final corner. We are entering the twilight stages of this race. The race dominated by one man and one man only. That is Kieran SF1. He's won the last few races, and he's going to win another one tonight. He's going to be continuing to push in. Definitely, I think, a shout for third in the Drivers' Championship, especially now Lucas Percy has not raced 2 weeks in a row. He is already, Kieran SF1, he'll be in the top 10 of the championship after tonight. He's not a million miles away from, not a million miles away from potentially fighting for P3 as he gets, obviously, to take another dominant victory tonight. So he gets 30 points for the win. He is out of championship contention, not quite mathematically, because after tonight there's going to be still a bunch of points, so he's still mathematically in it, but with Fletcher coming second, it's not going to be a massive swing in his favour. So they come down into the long corner, and here comes KD. KD's joined the scene. Oh, he's going to try on the outside of R2Beat. He is going to try on the outside of R2Beat. He's not going to get through there, surely. Like, nothing he can do through there. But there's now a very long train of cars. Two Hasses, an Aston, an Alpine, and now a V-Carb. They've all made their way together onto the same piece of tarmac, and they're coming down and through into the next part of the track. There's no overtaking really through here, but KD I think is going to come in here. We know KD can be quite aggressive when he wants to be. He knows how to race hard, and that's one thing these guys have not been doing. It's not been racing hard. But what can they do? If there's anything they can do, no, nothing done there for KD. If he gets a good exit, though, not really. Wiggle of the rear end as they come down up the hill. Legend close to his teammate, but not attacking him yet. He doesn't have to. I think that's playing a little bit into this, as you can see there. Oh, that was very close there from R2Beat in the Alpine. He is on the back, but again, they're not doing anything. And as the laps count down, this plays further and further into Legend's hands. If I was Kamaro, I would have wanted to blast past. And I've got a penalty, but it is only. Oh, it's 9. Okay. So, well, to be fair for KD, he's going to get up to 5th. So that's not bad at all for him. I believe that yellow flag is for the McLaren's getting out of the way to be lapped. As we head on to lap 51 of 56. Is there anything anyone's going to do? Equaz is pretty close. He saved his battery on the back of Vessier. DRS is open. Vessier is continuing to burn though, so Equaz not making much of an inroad for the back. Is there going to be a move here from KD? He goes to the inside. Can KD get the move done on the Kamaro racer? He can. KD's up to P6. Can Kamaro switch back? He cannot. KD up a position, and that's going to be very important for him. If he can get to the head of this train and push on, he might be able, maybe sniff a podium, but he can definitely get P4 if he pushes on. He's got one car down, he has 3 more to go, and KD is on a roll. He's on a push, and he is trying everything he can. He can sniff a potential podium, and for KD, that's all he needs. He just needs a little whiff of that podium spot, and he could potentially be on it. As they continue to fight onwards. That's a rear end loss. Is that potentially a tap there from Kamaro Racer? I don't know, not sure there what happened. As they blast down the back straight, and if these guys keep fighting, Reflection might have an opportunity to pit for fastest lap if he wanted to. Obviously not quite safe yet, but I think give it a couple of laps he might very well be safe, especially if Vessier and Equaz and Legend all start fighting, but if KD gets through, not much he can do with such a Reflection. Again, Riley picks up another 3-second penalty for track limits infringements, and it is looking increasingly likely that it's going to be Legend on the podium, but he does have a very hungry V-Carb behind him who wants a taste of that champagne here in Texas. just a few more laps to go. They're all coming through here for one of the last times. Not quite the last time, not for a little while yet. As KD now down the back straight, so he made move last lap round, but he does not have enough battery to get this done. Equinox thinks about it, nothing doing there. Legend, a bit uncycled, I think, by his teammates' move in the braking zone. KD is right there, but he's not close enough to get the move done. These guys are driving on quite old tyres now, 26 laps, no one's gone this far on a set of hard tyres. Yet in this race, this is an unknown for all of them, and they are really trying to just eke them out to the end. KD is really trying to get up that grid. He has such better tyres compared to everyone else around him. He is flying, but he's stuck in that train. The train of cars, there's nothing he can do. Nothing he can do at the moment. If he can save some battery, potentially. If he gets good exit, potentially. He does get good exit, but there goes the DRS on Legend, and there's nothing he can do. That effect is nullified. He has nothing to be able to fight with. As they head into turn 1, and he's been hit. Oh, he's gone round of his own accord. KD has spun. I've commentator cursed him, and he has done a half spin. I think that might be. I can't tell if that was a hit from behind or if it was a half spin of his own accord. But KD round 2.5 seconds down, and that is going to be his push for a podium over. He'll be lucky to get onto the back of that train again. I appear to have commentator cursed him that time. Soz. So Legend continuing on that 53 or 56. Kieran continues to dominate out front, and Vessier is continuing to hold on to the last podium position, but I don't think he's going to stay there given his 3-second penalty. So they are all fighting very hard here for the last place on the podium, potentially a bit too hard there in the case of KD, and that has also affected Kamara Racer. The fact that Kamara Racer stayed so far back makes me think he might have hit the back of the V-Carb and wanted to stay behind to ensure that he would to ensure legality and fairity. If that is the case, very, very well played, Kamara Racer. Hats off to you. I think Reflection should pit faster lap, to be honest. Just why not pit on lap 50, pit the end of lap 54. He could have come out ahead of Vessier, I think, with like quite a handy margin. So I think he should do it. If he can do it, he should do it. I think at least it's an extra point there. It's a point that Kieran isn't going to get. Not that Kieran is a massive threat in this championship, but he's definitely not going to be easily beaten. Every point will count, and the point counts more for Reflection than it does Kieran, to be honest. For Kieran, it's a nice bonus, but for Reflection, it is could be a difference between victory and loss in this championship. This championship that has been defined so far by tight margins. We've had Lucas Percy throw his hat into the mix. We now have Kieran throwing himself into the mix. I mean, if Kieran can go on a run of 5 wins in a row, there's nothing saying he technically can't win the championship. He's still mathematically in it. It's 30 points for win. There's 150 points, not including fast laps or wildcards. So 150 points. That's quite a healthy margin. In fact, Kieran has pitted again. Kieran is going to pit again for a set to go for the fastest lap of the race. I think the should go for it, but if Kieran's pitted, I don't think there's much hope for anyone getting that fastest lap except for Kieran. So into the pits comes Kieran, soft tyres for the V-Carb, and he will have a lap to get under his belt. Is Reflection going to try and respond? Is he going to pit for a set of the old soft tyres? No. He does have one more lap to do it. He can pit the end of this lap, and then 55 will be his out lap, and 56 will be his push lap. And he's certainly pushing on. 35 seconds clear of Vessier. This would be a very dominant win for Reflection if it wasn't for the fact that Kieran's also racing. So, yeah, I think Kieran's going to go for it here. He would get that fastest lap out of reach completely for the rest of the grid. Legend still in this DRS train, and KD's also caught up back up to it again. So KD's back on the back of the DRS train, but I think now with even less time to really make much of an impression on them. Lap incredible longevity from those hard tyres, and some incredible driving there from our driver. In fact, Reflection with his personal best first set coach. So I think it's quite incredible that he's done that on 30 lap old hard tyres. So really good job there from the Mercedes driver, who will take the lead back in the Drivers' Championship as things stand. And as they stand, it is going to be a swing for Reflection if Equinox will lose the championship lead that he inherited last week. It is all swings and roundabouts. So Reflection is pushing on. Oh, look at that. Kieran's going to get DRS down the start finish straight. So, yeah, if it wasn't over for the fastest lap, it is now, because he's going to get, the DRS from Jay Hings. So, yeah, Kieran's probably about to set the fastest lap of the race by a country mile as he starts his penultimate lap. Is Reflection going to pit? I mean, he doesn't have to, but he's going to try go for it, I guess. But it doesn't really have the battery. But they could save it without that. Okay. Reflection keeps it out. He will not go for the fast lap attempt, but I don't think he will do much anyway, because Kieran's going to get, I think, a very beneficial flying lap here from Kieran, who is starting to start the lap of the race. Yeah, no, 2 DNFs, well, 1 DNF, 1 DSQ. So into the 10-11 corner, he's got straight for the penultimate time, and he's going to be untouched, I think, untouchable, as these guys still continue to trundle on. Mad Max is quite at the back of Marty. Mad Max is right, and I think Marty's going to let him go, yeah, into turn 1. They swap positions, and notice that Riley as well, who had that very late piss off on the set of mediums, could probably get involved in this, and will get involved in it now that these two have hit each other. So Mad Max and Marty come together, and oh, Legend's got 3 seconds. Ah, oh, Legend on the penultimate lap, and that's going to give Vessier the podium position. Wow, that is really unfortunate. Although Equans has just dropped out of the DRS range of the Aston Martin, so if Legend can get a good exit, he could take his teammate here. I'm pretty sure Equans is not going to have DRS, and Equans is not going to have DRS. But Legend doesn't necessarily have the best exit, and I think Equans knows that he is not under much of a threat, as it is fastest up there for Kieran. And Legend, unfortunately, has thrown away the podium there. And it is going to be Vessier now who is going to finish on the podium through the misfortune of the Haas driver, but still has to be happy with a solid pool of points. They'll be outscoring Mercedes, and I'm pretty sure soon there'll be discussions about when Haas can finish the Constructors' Championship. They are, as things stand, a pretty tasty margin. They are well clear of. They're now well clear of second place Williams by 103 points, and Williams look likely to extend their lead over Mercedes in the Constructors. Now that looking likely to fall further out of contention for that second place. We are on, ladies and gentlemen, the final lap of the Texan Grand Prix. And there's only been one driver really who we can talk about, and it's this guy. He has been utterly flawless from start to finish. He got pole. He hasn't led every lap, so he can't get the Grand Slam tonight. But Kieran has been utterly dominant. No one has even held a candle to this man. No one has been able to even threaten him at all. He started on the hards. He kept it clear of the medium runners, and that was the first sign that this was going to be Kieran's night. And it's been Kieran's night now for 3 out of the last 4 races. Kieran SF1 has made himself known to everyone here in ALR 100% with some incredible driving. He was moved from Williams to VCAR because he was too quick. Could have moved to the Sauber, be on the cards. He won't be thinking about that though, because tonight it is Kieran SF1 who wins the Grand Prix here in Texas by a very dominant margin indeed. Reflection is going to come home in a brilliant second place that is going to swing him back the Drivers' Championship lead. He will reclaim it tonight. As things stand, he will reclaim it, and he's been flawless himself. He's 27 seconds clear of Vessier, and Reflection takes P2. We now look back to Vessier. Vessier, who has had some pretty good pace this season. He's got a few podiums this season. He wasn't on course to get the podium, but the mistake from Legend has given him that. He's been under pressure for lap after lap. This DRS train has grown astronomically large at points, but he has held firm, he has held strong, and it is going to be Vessier on his way to the podium as KD picks up another penalty on his last lap. Good job for you, KD. Vessier will hold on to P3. It is Legend in 4th, KD is in 5th, Equaz is 6th, so that is unfortunate for the Haas driver. Kamara Racer is 7th, and then we wait for the last few drivers. Marky crosses the line in 8th, immediately loses it to Lewis O'Reilly and Mad Max. After he beat across the line up to P8 for himself. Serious Mushroom, who I thought could get some good points with the fact he has no penalties, is not going to quite be able to pull it off, but up to the line he will come to go into P12. Oh, he misses out on P11 by literally nothingness. Wow. Ginger Age and Vintage are the last 2 drivers to finish as a yellow flag out. That could be, yep, Ginger Age has run out of fuel. Ginger Age is out of fuel at the line, and Vintage just misses out, I think, or if he didn't miss out, but you know, swings like that. There is Kieran celebrating on the podium, different outfit this week, but same result. Very well done to all the drivers who finished the race tonight. And if you didn't get a penalty, an extra high five. Ekwaz says he messed up Litton's podium. I mean, yeah, just a wee bit. I was a bit surprised you let him through, to be honest. Ekwaz, he had more penalty points, but it is what it is. I would run through the results, but the game is refusing to give them to me tonight for some reason. Game's like, no, you're not getting any points, bud. So very well done. Well, we already have. Oh, everyone's joining the comment box tonight. Right then. Oh, Knowsley sent an image. Oh my gosh, is it Knowsley? Do I get to see Knowsley? Is it him? It's just a picture of him. No, it's a picture of the results. That's a shame. I want to see Knowsley. But we will now get going once this decides to do whatever it's doing. In the pod chat we have all three of them. Wow, look at that. We have all three drivers. That is quite incredible. Right, we will start with our third place man. I can hear myself twice. Is someone watching the stream? Because if they are, then stop. So we will. Why can't I hear myself twice? That is really quite annoying. Right, we will start with. Let me just.